I said earlier I was looking forward to this because we're talking about pizza and wine. This next story comes from morningbrew.com and highlights this, offers about 1 million hidden lessons for small businesses in partnership marketing. And Dan, we've talked lots about collaborations.
Yeah.
This is another version of that. What grabbed you in this story?
Well, certainly you're right, Rob. We do talk about collaborations a lot, probably almost on every podcast, and this week is no different. This story, this really good story, is about how a small pizza joint, I don't mean to be insulting when I say small pizza joint, I'm making a point here. Yeah. The small pizza joint partnered with a large-scale beverage group to create this fun collaboration. The major wine vendor, I say major wine vendor, if you haven't heard of Yes Way Rosé, you're not a fan of rosés, let me just say that. So Yes Way Rosé and this Brooklyn-based pizza joint, Williamsburg Pizza, I shouldn't call them a joint, it's Williamsburg Pizza Shop, really teamed up to bring New Yorkers a Valentine's Day from home kit. And it was a true collaboration. We're talking about you ever been to a pizza place in New York City? Right? You don't find a smaller retail presentation.
They don't waste any space.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And this kit that they partnered together to create included, of course, just like our friends at Boston Pizza, the Olivieris, they're doing their heart-shaped pizza. So they did the heart-shaped pizza and a bottle of Yes Way Rosé bubbles and a limited edition wine tote in their, Yes Rosé's pigments. Yes. I can't get it out of my mouth
Say
anymore.
that 3 times in a row.
Yeah. Yes Way Rosé's signature pink wine tote bag. And it was available on February 14th. And it really launched with great success. And this is why this article that you've got to read goes on to have a Q&A session with the founders of Yes Way Rosé. And they share these 3 great lessons. So a lesson for the indie retailer: creating genuine relationships with bigger brands can't hurt you. And it will should lead to future opportunities down the road. Don't shy away from standing in front of a big brand. Own your superpower as an influencer. I said this about the last article. We are influencers, and you've got to own that superpower. You have the ability to influence decision, and you've got to own that. For the big brand, partnering with a smaller brand provides them this CSR, corporate social responsibility angle that allows companies to gain wider reach, especially if brands have a lot in common. So this corporate social responsibility that we talk about shows that they're stepping down, if you will, and helping this local Williamsburg pizza shop reach a much bigger audience. And they believe in the power of that indie business that's out there that is the backbone of economy. And then the last lesson learned was really on strategy. Big brands often provide seeding with either celeb audiences or access to their influencers. And a national network are just a few perks of partnering with a great big collab brand for a small business.
Yeah.
It's a great example of that.
Well, here we are in a northern city in Canada talking about Williamsburg Pizza in Brooklyn there. So I love it on that relationship side. And you made a great point about the independent retailer being an influencer in that they own these just intimate relationships with just a real concentrated audience. And I think it was last week, Dan, we talked about how Big Box is trying to rip lessons out of the
indie retailer's playbook.
Retailer playbook. And I think this is something too that you probably think this is out of reach. You've probably unsold it to yourself before you've ever even made that attempt to reach out.
Right.
And know that they're looking for these opportunities too. And sometimes you put that opportunity in front of them, make them look like, figure out their hero points, and you're on your way to a successful collaboration partnership.
Right. And every independent retailer right now should be thinking about who's the biggest non-competitive brand in my marketplace today. Who is that? And how do I go and introduce myself to them? Let's remember, they are the same as we are. They started in with an entrepreneurial spirit. You know, they've grown, they've evolved, they've trained and learned, and they're just like we are.
Yep.
Right? It's not difficult to go and introduce yourself to someone. And you would be surprised at how many of those bigger brands recognize us as smaller brands because of the work that we do at Ground Zero.